A few years ago, I was this shy, anxious kid who couldn't even leave his parents' house because he had so much social anxiety. Nowadays, I've literally made thousands of dollars a day in profit, not just revenue, with my business. I've traveled across many places in the world and I've lived a life of freedom like I always dreamed of. So, what the hell changed? How did I stop wasting my time and started making 1K a day in profit? How did I go from being this anxious little kid who used to cope and sedate his pain with Netflix, video games, just procrastinating constantly, to sticking to a rigid schedule of waking up at 5 a.m. every single morning and working pretty much 8 to 12-hour days, sometimes for 7 days in a row without stopping? How the hell is that possible? Well, let me tell you one thing, it never happens overnight. My goal with this video is to share with you all the lessons I learned so you too can stop wasting your time and make more money as quickly as possible. Because after all, we only have a limited amount of time on this planet. So may as well make the best use of it. The first thing, and probably the most important thing, that allowed me to stop wasting my time, it was actually realizing that I'm gonna die pretty damn soon. When you realize and you accept your own mortality, life has meaning all of a sudden. Just think about this for a second. If you were to live eternally, like you were never gonna die, it was guaranteed, then life might lose its meaning, wouldn't it? And let's say you were the only person on the planet who never died. No matter what, you would never die. But all the people you love would die. They're normal humans, only you has that power. How horrible would it be? That would mean that every time you'd make new friends, every time you'd fall in love, or even with your parents, you would lose these people every single time, over and over and over again. And you are immortal. Nothing, no one, and not even life itself can kill you. That would absolutely suck. So it's not really we have a short time to live. It's just we use our time not wisely at all. We waste so much of it. And that starts from a very young age. You're put in the school system for decades. That could be shortened by a lot. Like, what the hell do you learn in middle school, in high school? All of these are just wasted years. You learn a bunch of useless shit you're never gonna remember and you're never gonna use. Talk about wasted time. So I realized I was gonna die pretty damn soon. So instead of counting the days on a calendar, I started making every single day count. I started making every single moment count. A few years ago, every time I went on a trip, every time I met up with people I loved, etc., and it was for a short duration, I would freak out. I would never be able to enjoy any moment because I'd always be thinking about the end. I'd always be thinking about having to go back home, or to that place I quote-unquote called home, which didn't feel at all like a home. It just felt like a place I lived in. And so every time I'd be miserable because I couldn't enjoy anything ever. But funnily enough, right now I'm just coming back from a trip. I spent over a week in London and over a week in a Greece villa. And I just enjoyed every piece of it. I stopped looking at the time. I stopped stressing about everything, about my money, about my business, about this, about that, about leaving. I just stopped. For once in my life, I was in the present moment. I was looking at the view from the villa. I was enjoying myself in the 4-star hotels. That was living. Truly. And I was surprised because it came pretty effortlessly. I didn't intend for it to happen. I just enjoyed myself. For once. The problem when you're like me, you're very ambitious. You're always living in the future. If you're watching this right now, if you're watching my channel regularly, that's who you are. You're somebody who's ambitious. You want more than the traditional cookie cutter path that society's been trying to sell you ever since you were a kid. You want to make more money. You want to be free. You want to travel the world. Provide for the people that you love. You've got all these big crazy dreams. And you won't stop until you achieve them. You've got that fire in you, for a reason. Then when you're like this, it's pretty difficult to just be present in the moment. And you end up actually wasting a ton of time, focusing on the wrong things, doing busy work just for the sake of doing busy work because you feel like you will be deserving of success only if you work every single waking hour. Let me tell you, it's just not true. I used to think I mustn't watch movies ever, I would never play video games, I would never do anything fun or whatever, otherwise I wouldn't deserve success. But there is a balance to find. Like I'm telling you, if you try to stick to a hardcore dopamine detox, meaning you don't go on social media, you don't watch movies, you don't party, you don't talk to friends, you don't play video games or whatever, you don't do anything enjoyable other than working and exercising, you're gonna go fucking insane and you're going to end up hating working out or working on your business because that's the only thing you do. Sometimes you need a goddamn little break. And what some people taught me is that it's not wasted time if you enjoy what you're doing. Like it's just time that you experience. If right now you could be given $100 million, never have to work again for the rest of your life, what would you do? Like genuinely. You'd only do the things that you actually care about, that you actually want to do. Even if you chose to work you would choose to work on something that excites you, that brings you fulfillment, that you actually enjoy. Because at the end of the day, what's the ultimate goal of every single human being on the planet? To be happy, to achieve what they want to achieve, whatever that may look like. We're not so different, all of us, you know? And since I stopped wasting so much goddamn time, because I finally found why I wanted to be successful, what kind of life I wanted, now I could focus on my business. I started waking up at 5 a.m. I started working 12-hour days, sometimes even 7 days a week without stopping. Now you can't sustain this forever, it's a very hardcore schedule, but you get my point. Back then, a few years ago, I never thought I would have been capable of all of this. And I was always afraid of taking risks for some reason, because you're never guaranteed anything, you know? People who want a guarantee, they want you to guarantee you're gonna become successful. These people never become successful. Like one time I had somebody reach out to me, they wanted my help, and they asked me, how much money do you promise to make me? I didn't know if I wanted to cry or laugh or punch them because that is such a stupid thing to say. Genuinely. How much money do you promise to make me? How entitled do you have to be to say that kind of shit? As if anybody could promise to make you anything or do anything for you. Come on. Especially when it comes to building a business. No one is going to do it other than yourself. You can get mentors, coaches, service providers, yes. But ultimately, it's your fucking business. No one's going to do it for you. No one owes you anything. That's what you have to understand. Now that being said, if you try to do everything alone, it's pretty stupid. Everything I've been able to do in my life, getting in shape, learning English, working on my business, making it successful, etc., making thousands of dollars in profit per day. I didn't do any of that alone. People who tell you that, people who say they're self-made, whatever that fucking means, it's just an ego bullshit game. Nobody is self-made technically. If being self-made only means you didn't get an inheritance, okay, sure, that means something. But if self-made means I did everything myself, oh my fucking god, you are so delusional. You're lying to everyone, and you're lying to yourself first of all. No one is actually self-made in the sense that they did everything alone. Alone, you don't do jack shit. I didn't build that microphone. I didn't build this social media app. Other people did. That being said, you want to learn from other people who are ahead of you. Take their advice. That way you shortcut the process, the learning curve. If you want to get my help, you'd like me to show you how I built $1,000 a day in profit business on the internet while traveling the world, only having to work 5 to 15 hours a week on average. Click the link in the description below as soon as you're done watching this video. You'll get access to my free 3-step process where I'm going to share with you everything I did step by step. I'm literally pulling back the curtain and telling you what none of the big influencers are willing to show you. And for a limited time only, you can apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team, and together we'll see what's blocking you from making more money and what's the next step for you to move forward and to start earning some cash. And if it's a good fit, you might even get the opportunity to join my premium mentorship program where I'm going to share with you my most advanced strategies step by step, and I'm personally going to coach you until you get to 10K per month consistently with your business. The links will be in the description below. Something else I did to stop wasting my time was to actually focus on the things that mattered. I've spoken to hundreds of people, business owners, and also people who tried to start businesses but failed. And guess what all of these people have in common? A ton of them, they actually focus on the wrong things. In any business or anything in life, any activity, doesn't matter the area of life, only 20% of the things that you do will actually matter and give you 80% of the results. This is also known as the Pareto law or the 80-20 principle. So if you're smart, just by hearing this you think, well, what if I only do the 20% of actions that give me 80% of the results? There you go. Now you're only working a few hours a day or even a few hours a week and you're making 10K per month all the way up to 100K per month. Like sure, could you focus on these 80% of activities that only give you 20% of the results? Sure, but it's not necessary, and other people could do some of these things for you, like contractors, freelancers, employees, etc. You don't have to do everything alone. That's the point. Like genuinely, go listen to any successful person's advice or podcast or videos, read any successful person's books, whatever. They will all tell you the same goddamn thing. They didn't do it alone. That's what you really have to understand. So with our business model, the most profitable online business model, we sell digital products, coaching, or services. All we have to do to get customers is literally make content on social media, reach out to some people, and that's it. We sell our stuff. That's literally it. If you can do that for 2 to 10 years, you will have made millions. You will be a millionaire. I'm not even joking. But most people won't do it because they're too scared to try, because they've got too many goddamn excuses. They limit themselves all the time, or they will try, but they won't give it a weak effort because they're not really that committed. Everybody says they want to make more money. Everybody says they're committed. But I can tell you for a fact, again, I've spoken to hundreds of people, 90% of people or more just aren't committed at all. They're committed in their head, they think they are, but they're really not, because they won't even start. They won't even take risks. They won't even spend money on their business. But at the same time, they'll go buy the new PlayStation. Like, what the fuck? You can say all day long that you want this, or you want that, or you're committed, whatever, but until you actually take action, nothing matters. You need to show yourself you actually want this through your actions. Again, if you want me to mentor you, show you how I built a $1,000 a day business in profit, when you're done watching this, click the link in the description below. You'll get access to my 3-step process you can implement starting today to get your first customers, and then you can also apply to book a free strategy call with me or a member of my team. We'll see what's blocking you from making more money and what you need to do next to get customers and start your business. And if it's a good fit, you'll get the opportunity to join my premium mentorship program where I'm going to coach you and hold your hand until you make 10K per month with your business at least. So if that sounds interesting, if it sounds like this could help you, check it out when you're done watching this video. The links will be in the description below. Now, one of the most important things I did to stop wasting my time, do only the essential activities I needed to grow my business without working, 15 hours a day, was to do some deep work every single day. The number one habit I've implemented, and that's made me more money than anything else, was waking up early, on average at 5 to 5:30 a.m., and then I would do 2 to 4 hours of deep work, then I'd go for a workout, etc., have lunch, then work a bit in the afternoon, like take calls and that kind of stuff. When you're doing deep work, what this means, you're going to be sitting at your computer chair with your laptop, etc., you're going to be making your content, you're going to be working on the most important tasks, the highest return on investment activities. That's your 20% of actions that give you 80% of the results. And when you're doing this, you want to turn off all notifications. If you can put your phone on airplane mode or silent mode, put it somewhere else in the room, even in a drawer or even in another room, that's the best approach. On your computer, use the focus mode. Remove all distractions too. You do not want to be that idiot with notifications, whether it be emails, games, whatever, popping up on your screen every minute or so. Even if 15 minutes is too much, because studies have shown every time you get interrupted, it's going to take you at least 15 minutes to get back in a state of flow, of concentration, of focus. So if you get interrupted just a few times in an hour, really you haven't done any work at all. Just think about that for a second. And then the number one thing you can do to stop wasting so much time on things that don't matter is to stick to a daily routine. Now it should be a realistic routine. You shouldn't start waking up at 4 and then doing 2 hours of exercise per day and then you work 15 hours a day. Like, come on. You're going to burn out if you do this. I know I tried plenty of times. And if you ever want to do this hardcore schedule, first, you can't sustain it for long, like only a few weeks maximum, and then you have to work your way up to doing it. You wouldn't walk into a gym and try to bench 200 pounds from the get-go, right? When you're all skinny and you've never lifted anything before. You wouldn't go and try to run a marathon if you've never even run before, right? So how the hell do you think you're gonna go from not working that hard or working on average to literally doing this crazy hardcore schedule? Instead, take it one step at a time and celebrate all the small victories on the way. Pat yourself on the back, you deserve it, man. Focus on your journey. And if you can do this, you'll stop wasting your time and you'll be on track to making 1K per day too, or however much you want to make. If you'd like me to personally help you, click the link in the description below. I've made a free video which explains my 3-step process to making money online while traveling the world. And for a limited time, we've got very limited spots. You can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money. And on top of that, I'll show you what you need to do next. And if it's a good fit, you might get the chance to join my premium mentorship program where I'm gonna hold you by the hand and show you everything step by step until you make 10K per month with your business consistently. Spots fill up very fast, so if you're interested, check that out right now. First link's in the description. With that being said, I will see you on the other side.